Welcome to Smack This, the unofficial Godsmack podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Humphrey, where I talk all things Godsmack. This is episode 14. We're going to be talking about the 1,000 Horsepower album. This week in Godsmack news, the band announced a friendly reminder for the fans in Ocean City, Maryland, or live around Ocean City, Maryland, which is this Saturday night. So if you haven't got your tickets, get your tickets. But they said, "Are you ready to rock?" And I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. So they announced that, which is this Saturday again. I'll be glued to my phone. If you're going to this show, write me a comment down below. Let me know that you're going. What are you looking forward to hearing? They also announced that they're giving away a pair of tickets for the UK show, or I should say shows, in October. The Glasgow show, Manchester, London, and Birmingham shows. So if you're in or around those towns and you want to go see them, they got it on their social media that you can enter to win. I think it's you gotta like it, comment on which one of the shows, and I think share. I'm not sure about the share part, but yeah, check it out. All my UK friends over there, check that out. Other than that, that's it on Godsmack News. Um, for a personal thing, my birthday was this past Monday, so I turned 40 something years old, and but I got some cool stuff and some Godsmack stuff. So this one is the When Legends Rise vinyl. I get this from my mother-in-law and father-in-law. Thank you very much. Yeah, I love this. This is awesome. It's still in the package. Um, I'm debating on what to do because I kind of want to listen to it on vinyl. So I'm thinking about doing what my father-in-law said, and that's kind of slit the side. That way the album comes out and still leave it in the packaging. Um, I've also thought about putting it in an album frame and hanging it on the wall. Kind of like I was telling my wife, I want to do what they, they meaning Godsmack, did in Godsmack headquarters, where they have all the album covers on a bass drum head, and they got them all hanging on the wall. So I thought, well, I can't afford that, but I can get the vinyls and do that. So and put them in picture frames. So I think I'm leaning more towards that. My wife, my lovely wife, got me this one. This is the 1,000 Horsepower World Tour shirt. I love it, as you can tell. And in fact, it works in with this episode because that's the album we're going to be talking about. My kids actually took me and my wife to Mr. Getty's Pizza Buffet, and I ate my weight in pizza. I love pizza, so yeah, that's just an all-star for me. Um, so that's it on the personal stuff. I want to talk about episode 14, and that is the Godsmack's 1,000 Horsepower album. I love this album cover. Again, it's one of the three that I can flip-flop number one, according which week. The live album, this one, and of course, When Legends Rise, which I just showed. But I love the back picture. I love that. And then it's also got a really cool picture of them on a gatefold on a rooftop. Yeah, it's really cool. I really like it a lot. So let's talk about the timeline. The band was finished up headlining tour for the Oracle. I'm going to put Slash live and inspired although they didn't really play any of the songs off of Live and Inspired, talking about the Inspired part. The tour ended somewhere in 2013. Uh, they went into the studio in November of 2013 to start recording this. They recorded the album at Godsmack headquarters in Boston, which is what I just mentioned a few minutes ago. It's actually a warehouse that they bought, and they transformed it into a bunch of stuff. Really, there's a part that's they've shown this on YouTube and stuff. There's a full kitchen lounge part of it, and then that leads into the control room, and then that leads into the studio where they actually can record or rehearse for tours. There's another room that has all the storage stuff, all the guitars, the road cases, all that kind of cool stuff. I would love to go in there and just, I'd probably be drooling, you know. And then they got another room that's the workout room for Sully, weights and boxing stuff and stuff like that, so he can keep in shape. Yeah, it's a really cool place. The inside is just absolutely fantastic. They got Godsmack memorabilia is in there. In the studio, there's the Gargoyles. There's the Changes DVD, big fabric of it. It's hanging on the wall. They got the American flag after 9/11, their first show after 9/11. They got that hanging up. Yeah, just all kinds of cool stuff. I'd love to go there. But yeah, anyway, so that's where they recorded it. It was co-produced by Sully and Dave Fortman. They brought him back in, who did the Oracle album, and he also did the EP, the Inspired part of Live and Inspired. Let's see, it was released August the 5th, 2014. They released 3 singles off of this album: 1,000 Horsepower, Something Different, which both got videos for, and What's Next as the 3rd single. What's Next was supposed to get a video, but it got canceled for some reason or another. I can't find any information on why. However, they did make a video for a song that wasn't a single, and that's Generation Day. We'll talk about that song here in a little bit. There's 2 different versions of this album. There's the standard, which is the one I have, and then there's a deluxe, or I'm going to call it the Best Buy because it was a Best Buy exclusive. It had a bonus track on it, and I'll talk about that bonus track when I go track by track. The album peaked at number 3, so it kind of broke the string of number 1 song, or albums I should say, where they had Faceless, the Godsmack 4, and the Oracle all went number 1. This one peaked at number 3. They hadn't had a lower charting album since the Awake album, which was their 2nd album, which debuted at number 5. I mean, that doesn't suck. Number 3. I mean, come on. Come on with it, as Sully would say. It sold, as far as I can tell, about a little over 90,000 copies. I'm going to say gold. It does. I can't really find any more information other than that. But yeah, at least it's got to be. How they promoted this was really cool and really interesting. I do remember a couple of these. I don't remember all of them, so it was kind of cool to see. This one I do remember. They put on their YouTube page about a 27-second of the song 1,000 Horsepower. I remember that, just clicking it over and over and over, trying to get as much of it as I could to hear what this was going to sound like. Now this part I didn't know. Generation Dave, the song, was available on download way before the album came out, so that might be why they made the video. Um, I don't know. Sully and Shannon went to iTunes Radio and they did like this 60-minute interview um, show where they also played some of the songs off the new album before it was released. They went to iHeartRadio stage and they actually played 3 songs off the album live from New York City. Plus, they recorded an acoustic version of Turning to Stone for the 4th season of The Walking Dead, and it's actually part of the Walking Dead soundtrack called Songs of Survival Volume 2. And I do remember this, they did the webisodes of the making of 1,000 Horsepower. There's like 5 episodes. Really cool to watch, really fun to watch. They really kind of take you through it on how they recorded it and pretty much why they brought Dave back. Yeah, it was really cool. So check those out. Those are actually on their playlist. So check those out. It's so good. It's really good. So that's the timeline and the history, the facts. So let's go track by track of 1,000 Horsepower. I love this album. I love the cover. The back cover is awesome. Really cool picture of the band. But I really dig this. This should have been a poster, in my opinion. Them on a rooftop. The photographer, Paris Vision. She's their main photographer. And yeah, it's really good. So let's go track by track. Track number 1 is the title track, and that's 1,000 Horsepower. Starts off with that engine roaring from a hot rod. Then Shannon kicks it in with this kind of drum thing on a snare drum. So he goes, yeah, and then the band kicks in, the song kicks off. It's got this fantastic groove in it. Shannon does this little cymbal crashing, kind of like on Crying Like a Beep. But I think it's better on this song. But yeah, it's really cool. The lyrics are pretty much the history of the band at that point. So if you just read the lyrics, you get an idea of how they got started. It's a catchy chorus. I love it. There's a middle drop in it, groove. Sully sings this repeated couple of lyrics over and over, and it kind of builds back up. It just rocks. It's so good. I love this song. Fantastic guitar solo from Tony. It's really good. Yeah, so check that song out if you've never heard of that one. Track number 2 is FML, which stands for F My Life. It kind of reminds me of Sick of Life. Maybe a little more mistakes off the Awake album. It's a little bit on the happier side. But yeah, it's a good song. I don't not like it. It's a really good song. Starts off with this really cool guitar lick. Then it kicks in. Then it kind of slows down a little bit with this great groove. And then it kind of builds up on the chorus. And then there's a great guitar solo from Tony. Then it kind of slows down a little bit, and then you can actually hear Robbie kind of smack his bass on a note. It actually sounds really cool. Then it builds back up to the ending of the song, kind of brings you back to the beginning, which is that guitar lick that you hear at the beginning of the song. Track number 3 is something different. When I bought this album when it first came out, I absolutely fell in love with this one. It's so different. Even the song is something different. It's so good. It's probably one of my favorite, all-time favorite songs off this album. I can listen to this over and over. Um, Starts off with this interesting guitar playing by Sully, who's also singing. And what's really different about this song is that he's actually singing the chorus before any of the verses. So you kick off with the chorus. Um, then you can hear Shannon kind of counting himself in as he's hitting on the cymbal. And then the band kicks in, and kicks in, and then it kind of goes down, and then it builds back up during the chorus, and it kind of comes back down. So here's your roller coaster song, and like I've said before, I love those roller coaster songs that they do. There's actually another really cool, interesting part. There's actually a cello solo. You heard me right, a cello, which is played by Irina, Irina Chakova, and it's wonderfully played. It's really good. It kind of matches with the guitar, but you can really hear it. It's really good. It's so good. The lyrics are freaking fantastic. I love this song. Like I said, first time I heard it, I was hooked. Um, Track number 4 is What's Next. This starts off with a great groove. Um, the way they play it, the way Sully sings it is great. It just rocks. There's actually like a Shannon drum fill, that thing, if you really listen close in the middle. There's a part towards the end, Sully sings this big long verse, and he's really belting it out, and the band just stops, and then they come in as soon as he finishes. It's really good. It's freaking fantastic. So there was my notes. So track number 5 is Generation Day. Here's another one that I just absolutely fell in love with when I heard it. Starts off with this kind of a high pitch, weird, roaring, kind of futuristic, computerish kind of sound. It's really hard to put into words what that is. And then it has this great guitar riff, and then that's being played by Sully, and then you can kind of hear Tony kind of come in, and he's playing over top of it. Then the rest of the band, Shannon and Robbie, kick in, and Sully just goes shot, SHOT, and then it just kicks in. The song really kicks in. Let's see, what else? It's different singing in it. He sings a verse, and he kind of drags it out. So it's got this echoey, kind of futuristic sound to it. It's really good. It catches your ear, or at least mine. Fantastic guitar solo by Tony. Then it kind of drifts off in the middle of the song, and kind of like Tripping on the Awake album, where it just kind of drifts off, and it's really cool. It's really cool to listen to. Then it kicks back in, and the song's just fantastic. It's so good. Track number 6 is Locked and Loaded. Starts off with this really heavy sounding guitar riff. It's really good. It's it's almost dirty sounding. That's the best way I can say it. Then the band kicks in, fantastic groove. The lyrics are great. Absolute great song all the way around. It's one of the heavier songs on the album, so it fits in pretty cool at this spot. Track number 7 is Living in the Gray. Starts off with this guitar and drum intro, kind of playing together, and it just kind of builds. Then the band kicks in. It's got a great groove in it. Sully's singing is great. There's a really deep sounding guitar distortion kind of sound in it. It's really good. It's a great song. It's a really great song. Track number 8 is I Don't Belong. Just kicks in right off the bat, just rocking. The lyrics are great. It's got this fantastic groove in it. The singing is fantastic. Great guitar solo by Tony again. It's a really great song. It's really good. I Don't Belong. Let's check that one out. Track number 9 is Nothing Comes Easy. Starts off with like a roaring guitar sound. Then the band kind of builds up to that sound. So it's kind of interesting to hear. As Sully sings the verses, there's this guitar churning, kind of almost like a speed metal song guitar lick. It's really cool to hear because you're like, what am I listening to? But yeah, it's really good. It's very different. There's some there's a guitar distortion in it. Why Tony actually plays a guitar solo on top of it, so it's a really cool listen. Then the song pretty much ends with that guitar roar that you hear at the beginning. Yeah, really good song. Number 10 is Turn Into Stone. This one starts off with this guitar lick, really kind of slow. You hear some bongos by Shannon. It's almost serenity kind of feel to it at the beginning. And then Sully sings, and it's fantastic. Then the band kicks in. Then it comes back down. It's so good. It's again one of those roller coaster kind of songs. It's really good. It kind of goes up and down. It goes down, kicks back in, comes down, kicks back in. Then the song just kind of fades out on the down part. And yeah, it's really good. I love this song as well. Okay, so the Best Buy track is what I'm calling it, is Life Is Good. Starts off with this kind of swinging kind of guitar sound, kind of almost like the Devil's Swing on the Oracle if it had a baby. That's kind of what this sounds like at the beginning. It's not that I don't love Devil Swing. I love that song because it was kind of like that. So yeah, and then it just kicks in. The band kicks in. Fantastic groove. Sully's singing is fantastic on this song. It's got a really catchy chorus. Why it didn't make the album, the official album, I don't know. It's that good of a song. It's absolutely fantastic. The middle part is fantastic. There's like a little drum feature kind of thing with Shannon. There's a Tony guitar solo is fantastic on it. I love it. I really did. At the end of the song is really, really cool to hear because as you can hear them finish the song, the tape's still rolling, and there's some conversation between Sully and Shannon and Tony and Robbie. It's really fun to hear. Yeah, check that song out. Wait till the end and really turn up the volume to hear what they're saying. Okay, and that's track by track. 10 tracks on the standard, 11 tracks if you have the Best Buy version. Rate it 1 out of 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I'm going to give it a 10. Again, it's one of the albums I listen to a lot until the new one comes out. Yeah, I love it. Least favorite song. This was kind of hard, but I'm going to go Living in the Gray. It's not that it's a bad song, it's just not really one of my favorites off the album. Tell me what you think. Maybe your favorite. My favorite song or songs on the album, I'm staying away from the singles, though I could pick all 3 of them. I'm going with Generation Day, Locked and Loaded, I Don't Belong, and Turning Into Stone. and then I'm going to add that bonus track, Life is Good. Yeah, why it didn't make the album, I don't know. Maybe it was a publicity plan to make you go buy the Best Buy version. I don't know. So homework this week. You rate the record. 1 out of 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Tell me what you think. Write me a comment down below. What's your favorite song or songs on the album? You can pick the singles if you want to. Least favorite song or songs on the album? Tell me. Also, I want to thank each and every one of you who viewed last week's episode. It was mind-breaking. It blew me away. As I hit record today, it was 290 views. I'm speechless. I really am. That's just freaking fantastic. Yeah, let's just keep this going. I really love this. It's got me going. We got a ton more stuff to talk about. In fact, next week is episode 15. I'm going to do the Ocean City, Maryland review. So I'm going to talk about the set list. I'm going to talk about the stage, because that's got me wondering: is it going to be the same as the Boston show, or is it going to be what they did during what I call the Radio Festival tour? If you haven't seen that, check out episode 2. Are they going to keep the Battle of the Drums? They brought it back for the Boston. Didn't do it during the radio. Yeah, what's this going to look like? They didn't do any pyro during the Boston show, but they did during the radio. Yeah, just all kinds of stuff in my mind. It's just going round and round. Yeah, so I'll be glued to my phone. Like I said, if you're going to this show, let me know. Write me a comment down there, and tell me if you're going. What are you looking forward to seeing or hearing? Take the pictures, film the whole show. That'd be fantastic. Film the whole show. But yeah, I'm not asking for a lot. So yeah, that's next week's episode. Episode 15, the Ocean City, Maryland review. Yeah, we got a ton more stuff to talk about when Legends Rise after that one. So that would be episode 16. Then we'll go into the solo stuff. Another Animal. Sully's book. His movie. Oh man, there's just all kinds of stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's keep this going. My blood's pumping. I'm ready to go. So if you know anybody that likes Godsmack, hearing about Godsmack, talking about Godsmack, send them this way. Tell them to type in on Google or Firefox or whoever, Smack This, the Unofficial, and it'll all pop up. Tell them to go on YouTube, type in Smack This, the Unofficial. It'll all pop up. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next Thursday, episode 15. And you just